Now we are moving to another compound. We are going to be looking at alkanal and alkanone. Sorry for my voice, I'm having a cold. Now, for alkanal, this is the functional group RCHO. For ketone, they are both called carbonyl compound. Now, if you take a look at the two of them, the only difference here is that here we are having H. Can you see that here we are having H? You can see H here. Then this other side we are having R. So that is the difference between those two guys. So how do we name them? Now, you should have known that this compound has CHO. CHO is coming from here, which is alkanal. This one has R, C double O, R. R is an alkyl group. I know you know that. So this is R, C double O, R. This is still this is alkanone. This is what do you call it? Alkanal. Then look at it. Though if you look at this alkanal, it's having OH. This OH is more like it's having two functional group. OH is coming from alcohol. This is exactly the functional group. This is the functional group of alkanal. This is that of alcohol. Yeah, this is ketone. This is ketone R, C double O R. This is ketone, in case you don't know. We are using a line formula. So let's start naming them. Then you can see this OH is coming from alcohol. So let's start naming them. Let's start. So to start with, how do I name this compound? Anytime you are naming alkanal, note, if you are naming alkanal, you start counting from the carbon of the functional group. That's for alkanal. You start counting from the carbon of the functional group. Where's the carbon of the functional group? This is the carbon of the functional group. So anytime you are naming that guy, you start counting from that carbon. So meaning that you start with 1, 2, 3, then what? 4. And that is why alkanal is always in position number 1. So the guy does not undergo positional isomerism. Alkanal does not undergo positional isomerism. So it's because it's always in position number 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Who is in this position number 2? This is OH. OH is coming from alkanol. OH is the functional group of alkanol. But note that alkanal has more priority than alcohol. Alkanal has more priority than alcohol. Because of that, our OH will not be having a suffix now. It will not be bearing the ho or no. We are going to give it another prefix, which is going to be called hydroxyl. This OH is coming from alcohol, but it's not having priority. Alkanal and alkanone has more priority than alcohol. So this OH will now be called an hydroxyl. So 1, 2. Now say 2. Then what? Hydroxyl. 2 hydroxyl. 2 hydroxyl. 1, 2, 3, 4. Butana. I think that is clear. Now let's go to this one. This is alkanone. R, C double R. Here, you don't start counting from the carbon of the functional group. In alkanal, we start counting from the carbon of the functional group. You don't do that here. All you do is you count from the ends, and you count in such a way that this our guy is having the smallest possible number. So if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, this guy will be in position number 3 if I count from here. But if I count from here, 1, 2, that's 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. You can see 1, 2. Our functional group is in position number 2. This is alkanone. In alkanone, we don't count from the carbon of the functional group. But in alkanal, we count from the carbon of the functional group. So, do you get that clear? In alkanal, we count from the carbon of the functional group. But here, we don't do that. You count in such a way that it has a small number. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is but. If 4 is but, that is going to be what? Butan. 1, 2. 2 own. The C double bond O is in position number 2, and that's clear. Now let's move to the next one. For the next one, look at the guy. We can write this. This is a line formula, and I've been teaching you how to deal with line formula. So let's rewrite this. This is going to be what? This is you can see this end is CH3, so that will be CH3. Then to C that has OH, continue to a C is here. That C has a CH3. Then we have H here. We are here. C double bond O. Then this part is CH3. I think that is clear. Now this is CH3, CH3. This is C OH. Then this C has this up. Then C double bond O. Then CH3. So how do we name it? What's the functional group here? The functional group here is what? This is an alkanone. Because this R C double bond O R. Then we also have another functional group there. This guy is coming from alcohol. But I told you that both alkanol and alkanal has more priority than what? Alkanol. Meaning that this guy has more priority than this guy. So if I'm counting, I'll count in such a way that it favors this guy. Who is this guy? This is alkanone. And I told you that if you are counting alkanone, you don't count from the carbon of the functional group. But if you are doing that with alkanal, you count from the carbon of the functional group. That's why alkanal normally starts from position number 1. But in the case of our alkanone, you count in such a way it has a small number, but you don't count from the carbon of the functional group. So how do I count this? I'll count in such a way that will make this one small. If I count like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, this will be 2, but this guy will be 4. I don't want that. I want 1, 2, so that this guy will have a small number because it's the priority. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So here, alcohol does not have the priority. So our OH becomes hydroxyl. So I'll say 4 hydroxyl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pentan. 1, 2. 2, 1, 2. Ons. 1, 2. This guy is in position number 2. I think that is clear. So let's go to the next one. What's the next one? The next one is this compound. I want you to do this on yourself. Try this as your classwork. Attempt this question yourself. Now let me name this one for you. Now this is a cyclic. Anytime you have a cyclic, you should know that it is going to bear the name cyclo. So how do I name this guy? How do I name this guy? So easy to name. How do I name this guy? So easy to name. So if I want to name this guy, I say yes, OH, and this is double bond O. Now which functional group is this? Because this is more like saying, can you see? So it's more like saying R and R, meaning that that guy is a ketone. Because it's a ketone, then what will happen? So this is ketone. So how do we name this compound? This is a ketone. And our ketone takes the priority. The ketone takes the what? Priority. And that guy have to be in position number 1 because it takes the priority. So this is position number 1. So this one would then be in position number 2. Yeah, and it will be called hydroxy. So because OH is an hydroxy. So how do we name this one? So that's a 6 this thing. So this is going to be 2 hydroxy, 2 hydroxy, cyclo 6 1 is a 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 cyclohexane hexanone. Because we believe that this guy is in position number one. It's cyclic. It's in position number one. So, and this functional group is alkanone. So I want us to look at this question. This question. I want us to rewrite it. Can you write this line formula? This is going to be what? CH3. This place is going to be CH. That's a double bond. CH connected to C. Now, pay attention to this place. C. That's a double bond. O. This is CH. This is C. That's a double bond. O. Abi. Now, but 1, 2, 3. There's something missing. That means the only thing that is missing here is that there's an hydrogen here. So who is that? That is an alkanal. So how do I name this alkanal? How do I name this alkanal? Very simple. To name this alkanal, you just count. You start counting from the carbon of the functional group. You know that when we are naming alkanal, we count from the carbon of the functional group. Where's the carbon of the functional group? The carbon of the functional group is here. That will be 1. This will be 2. This will be 3. This will be 4. So how do I then name it? That will be 1, 2. Our double bond is in position number 2. 3, 4. 4, Abi. So you now say 1, 2, 3, 4. Boots. Double bond 1, 2 is in position number 2. Boots. 2 in na. 1, 2. Boots. 2 in. Meaning that double bond is in position number 2. Then na. That's alkanal. So that's how to name this. Boots 2 in na. So do this as classwork. Then also try this yourself. Give me pentina. Pentina is different from pentana. Pentina is telling you that there's a double bond. Or I can call it 1 pentina. So when you hear 1 pentina, it means there's a double bond and the double bond is in position number 1. Yeah. The double bond is in position number 1. No. Don't let us do this. Okay, let me make it 2. Sorry. That will be easy. 2 pentina. Give me the structure of 2 pentina. So that is all about our alkanal and alkanone. Ensure you try these 2 questions. So let's move to the next compound.